Hey guys, welcome back to the electrical outlet, and today's video is what can be best described as interesting. Well, you may be asking, what is this desktop box right here? Well, this is a Dell Dimension 2400. But no, it is not the same Dell Dimension 2400 as in my tech area over here, right there. That Dell Dimension 2400 doesn't work. So today we were at our local dump getting rid of some of the stuff that got damaged, that got water damaged in the flood that our basement experienced. And over at the metal area, I always check to see if there's anything interesting. And this time I found two old Dell desktop boxes. One of them looked extremely water damaged and every screw was all rusted out and it was in really bad shape. It was an Optiplex 210, I believe. But then I found this, but sitting right next to it was this Dell Dimension 2400. In really dusty condition, but despite some evidence of corrosion on the bottom right here, it looks to be in decent condition. It has all of its parts. It has CD drive, floppy drive, CPU, everything is still hot because it was sitting out in the sun. And hard disk drive even. I will probably be wiping that. As well as it even uses a CR2032 button cell battery, which is good. That means if it's dead, which it probably is, I'll be able to replace it really easily. We also have our CPU, and it's just everything is really dusty. I mean, look at this. It's not something I'm in common with, seeing as my other Dimension 2400 is also extremely dusty. But look at this. Even here, it's just dusty, so dusty. So in this video, we are going to be testing this Dell Dimension 2400 to see if it works. And then if that doesn't work, in a later video, I may be able to use some best parts from this to get my other one working. But it has motherboard issues. Although, if something is broken on this, it's probably from the motherboard. But hopefully, if something is broken, it's just like the hard drive or it's floppy drive or something. I have spares that I can use. Let's just go ahead and test this thing. Yeah, if you're wondering what this giant green thing is, by the way, this is like some part that attaches the fan back here, which is also very dusty. Everything just looks very dusty. To the heatsink to get out. Port selection on the back is also very dusty, but again, my other Dimension suffers the same issue. We have PS2 mouse, PS2 keyboard, RS-232 serial, a parallel printer port or parallel port that the dust has even infiltrated into the holes of this thing, so I don't know if it'll work. The VGA connector, which is also very dusty. 4 USB ports, a modem card, which is also very dusty. Everything's just very dusty. In fact, it's so dusty that I couldn't even fit its cover on, which is right up there. We also have 3 different audio ports for like audio in and out and stuff like that, and an Ethernet port for internet access. Yeah, I think it's just time we go ahead and test this thing over here in my newly reorganized tech setup. So I have everything hooked up to this. I just stole the mouse and keyboard from my Compaq Presario 4660 over here, and serial mouse. I don't mind this. This is a novelty thingy that I got but doesn't work. Otherwise it would have been a video. But I have everything plugged in, including power, mouse and keyboard, and I plugged it into my Dell Ultra Sharp display. That was pretty much made for one of these. So let's plug it in, and I mean, let's just test it because it's already plugged in. But what's interesting is I didn't hear the power supply wore up when it got power. That could be an issue, but we will see. Oh. Okay. Oh, it just died. Oh, it's trying again. Oh, I think it's doing something now. The monitor has not come on yet. which may not be a good sign. It was making some noises. I think I can hear the hard drive. This ejects it. Oh, what's this? Dell Dimension Resource CD. It's a driver disk. Ah! Crap! For Dell Dimension 2400, I'd assume. Alright, that's interesting. Someone tried putting in this disk. Okay. So we at least know everything's getting power. But we don't have a display. Which makes me think that maybe the board is dead. I'm gonna play around with this thing a bit. Let's turn it off with my toe. Here, I'll just use my finger. Okay. I'm going to now go over to the back where I have everything here plugged in. Uh-oh. A and B lights on the diagnostic lights on the back are lit up. Alright, I'm going to check the dead Dell manuals to see what A and B being lit up means. Because that's actually really useful, my diagnostic lights. When I upgraded the DVD-ROM drives in my now dead Dell Dimension, those lights helped me figure out what was wrong, even if it was a code that no one had ever seen. It told me that something was wrong with my new upgrade. Turns out I had plugged in I was stupid and I just plugged into the drive to the floppy bus. Alright, let's figure this out. Okay, so I looked at the dead Dell scrolls and found out that A and B being orange means that I have a RAM issue. I did take out one of the RAM sticks to see if they were how much RAM there was, but it does occur to me that I may not have reseated it properly. So I'm gonna unplug this thing and reinstall the RAM. Okay, so here is the inside of this computer. It's still on, so I'm gonna unplug it. There we go. And here is the RAM card I checked out. It's right here. It's a 128 megabyte card. So what I'm going to do is try to just push it in further. And I think I'm going to have to put this thing down a little bit, angle it to do this. Okay, that just went in further. Alright, I think it's in all the way now, so the clamps, I think they automatically just went down. Alright, now I'm going to plug this thing back in and test it again. Hopefully this time it's plugged back in. Turn it on. Oh, we got a display. Please post. Oh my goodness. No way it boots. No way it boots. Oh! Oh my goodness. No way. The resolution is set wrong. Oh, it's just auto-adjusting. Yeah. Oh, look at that. Mom's computer. And then owner. My mouse is not working. My keyboard is, though. Let me attach a PS2 mouse. Or actually, I'll do a USB mouse because PS2 devices can't really hot plug. Okay, so right away I noticed a problem. Both accounts are passcode locked. So I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to do a clean install of XP on here. In fact, I'm absolutely sure. So, I just can't believe it works. And but my mouse, I have it attached to the front USB port. but it's absolutely not working whatsoever. It's not even getting power. My mouse isn't even getting power. So I'm gonna try a PS2 mouse and reboot this thing to make sure like the mouse is working. Okay, I have got a PS2 mouse in, and I'm gonna try to, and I shut this thing down. I unplugged power while it was booting, so hopefully I should get the safe mode display, because if I can, then I can boot it off of the administrator account. Except it seems to have like, alright. Yeah, I think I can't get it to boot off of safe mode, and that second Windows XP just seems dead. Also, another weird thing is if I force it to turn off, it just comes right back on again. But it works, and I just need to do a clean install of XP. So, let's do it. Okay, it's time to boot this guy up into an XP Professional setup. Disk. Service Pack 3. There we go. Alright, up here, and then we are just going to power cycle. And we should press any key to boot from CD. Assuming the CD-ROM drive works, which it should. I hear it spin up. Yep, it's working. I also did plug in a PS2 mouse. This Dell one right here, so let's hope that one actually works with this thing. I'll be back once we're in the part of the setup that requires, or I'll actually be back once we're at the hard drive area, because once we're at the hard drive, I want to see how big this thing's drive is. I'm guessing 60 gigabytes. I think that's what my other one is. And if this doesn't work, and if this install doesn't work, I can just grab the hard disk drive from my other Dimension and use that to get this thing working with Windows XP. Okay, here we are in the setup program. Actually, for the second time, because the first time I accidentally hit full format instead of quick format, which takes like 2 hours to do, and I am not waiting for that. I'm gonna accept your 2001 license agreement, and then I'm going to delete the partition. I found out that this is a 40 gigabyte hard drive, and I'm gonna do a quick format this time. Quick format. Yes. Look at how fast that goes. It just zeroes the whole drive out. Anyways, I'll be back when this finishes. The format was successful, and now we are copying all of our files to the drive. There's driver.cab, aka I take 10 minutes to copy. Well, maybe not 10 minutes, but more like a minute and a half, which is still like 10 times longer than every single other file. But hey, it's a known fact. I'll be back once we are in the graphical stage of the setup, so we can test to make sure that we don't have a serious issue with the mouse support. But that could be why the driver disk was in there. Maybe they thought their mouse drivers were not working, the previous owners. Still, I don't know why they got rid of this computer. But luckily next month there's a technology roundup, so if this thing turns out to have a major defect, I can just get rid of it again. Or alternatively, which would also be a good solution, I could scrap it for parts. Okay, it finished the first blue part of the setup and is now going to the graphical one. So now we are booting into the Windows XP Professional graphical setup. Let's hope that our mouse support works with my PS2 mouse. We should be there any second to where we can test our mouse support. I really hope that everything's working fine. Alright, testing. Yay, we have mouse! It is working fully. Alright. Hopefully it was just an issue with that Windows install, or the front USB bus may be dead, but I can replace that from parts from my other Dimension, if that is the case. Which is, by the way, if we turn our seat 180, right down here. I'm also going to be stealing this thing's double DVD drives I added back when it was working. Unfortunately now, as soon as it tries to boot XP, it just freezes and won't boot any install disks. It has a motherboard issue, I'll bet. And we're going back. So, now we are in the installation part. Don't be fooled. It is not this old 87 Compact Desk Pro doing the work, which was in a previous video, my previous 2 videos. Check them out if you haven't already seen them. I'll just be back after this is done. It's coming from not this compact box, but this Dimension box. Not this Power Mac, this Dimension. Okay, we just finished with the Windows XP setup, and now we're moving on to the out-of-box experience. Unfortunately, I don't have any speakers connected, so we aren't going to have any sound. But it is great that we are about to be there. Alright, we're at please wait. Yep, adjust the visual elements to 800 by 600 from 640 by 480. I'm going to have to use that handy driver disk this came with to reinstall the drivers. It's really useful that it came with that. Alright, welcome. Wait, no out-of-box experience? What is this? It's probably going to boot right into it. No out-of-box experience. Wow. Obviously, the resolution isn't quite fit, but we'll have to fix that. Anyways, I'll be back once I get some drivers installed. And here we have it. Windows XP Professional running beautifully on 1600 by 1200 resolution on the dump rescued Dell Dimension 2400. I tested my serial mouse now works, and also magically the front USB bus has come to life, so everything is working. I have no idea why they got rid of this, but I have a couple theories. My first theory is right next to it was a rusted out Dell Optiplex 210. It is a very likely cause that whoever was giving these away got their basement flooded, or not giving them away, but like throwing them away at the dump where I rescued this guy. It is a very likely idea that since maybe their basement got flooded the same as ours did, except theirs was a lot worse, they assumed that that one was clearly rusted out and not working, that this one was too, so they should just get rid of it. Or, which is maybe a little more likely, I don't know, they were just getting rid of this thing and figured it wasn't worth anything, because it isn't really. These are ridiculously common desktops, Dell Dimension 2400, and that they just need to get their old 10-year-old box out of here, so they just threw it away at the dump. But luckily I was there and rescued this computer, and hopefully it'll have years of sitting in good use once more. This is the electrical outlet, signing out. Okay, so all of our drivers have finally loaded. It takes forever. We're now in the setup. I'm going to hit enter. I agree to your 2001 license agreement. It's searching for previous versions, which it should find. And I'm just going to delete this partition. Which leaves us with what looks to be a 40 gigabyte hard drive. Alright, it'll work fine for Windows XP. That's plenty of space for an XP install. Oops, I didn't mean to click that. Now it's gonna have to do a full format. Well, I guess it's probably for the best anyway. I'll let it do an entire full format on this drive. You know what, screw it. This takes like forever. I'm restarting the entire setup.